Yo, what's up, guys? A bunch of huge Chicago Bulls news and rumors just came out. You're definitely going to want to watch this whole video. Definitely check out my last video if you guys missed it as well. The Timberwolves are interested in Lauri Markkanen. I was talking about some potential second-round draft picks the Bulls could draft, and the Chicago Bulls are expected to trade Farouq Aminu in this upcoming offseason. Also, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. Leave a quick like on today's video and some comments and questions below today's video talking about all the topics I'm going to be talking about. But either way, let's just jump right into it. And let me just give a huge shout out to Daniel Greenberg and Woj for putting these tweets and information out. You know, Woj was on a podcast yesterday by the time you guys are going to be watching today's video. And the first thing that he was talking about on the podcast, he was talking about all the recent news and rumors in this upcoming offseason and the Chicago Bulls. And he said it would be perfect for both Lonzo Ball and the Chicago Bulls if they can end up together. Lonzo Ball has been linked to the Bulls for months now. I've made many videos talking about his name and just this topic. I do believe he is the most realistic and the best free agent point guard, or just honestly point guard option for the Bulls that the Bulls can sign or possibly trade for to pair with Zach LaVine. I feel like they can play off one another perfectly. I love both their games together. I feel like they just mesh well together, and I feel like that backcourt could be deadly in the NBA. But nonetheless, other than that, on the podcast, he also did say that the Chicago Bulls are a true potential landing spot for Derrick Rose. I'd say about a month or two ago, I did make a video saying how Derrick Rose is open to a Chicago Bulls return. But it is very interesting to hear that Woj is now saying this on the podcast. Derrick Rose is honestly the whole reason why I became a diehard Chicago Bulls fan. He was honestly just the reason I started watching the NBA in general as well. And on the podcast, Woj was also talking about how there are a lot of teams in the NBA that are very interested in trading for Tomas Satoransky. And let me just break this down one by one. I already covered the whole Lonzo Ball topic. I've made many videos on that. Definitely go give those past ones a watch if you guys want to. But let's just talk about Derrick Rose. Like I just said, he was the whole reason I became a Bulls fan, and I love basketball to this day. I do believe the Bulls could get him probably much cheaper than many other point guard names. The Bulls have honestly been linked to every free agent point guard or every point guard on the trade market. Lonzo Ball is expected to get anywhere from $20 million to, I'd say, probably $30 per season. It could be anywhere in that range. Same with Kyle Lauri. The Bulls recently got linked to him. He's expected to make a lot of money in this upcoming offseason as well. Same with Spencer Dinwiddie and same with Dennis Schroeder, honestly. So say the Bulls don't have that much money or don't want to create cap space by, say, trading or cutting Thaddeus or Tomas Satoransky, Derrick Rose would be a nice backup plan, I'd say. And while I don't believe Derrick Rose is the complete answer for the Chicago Bulls point guard position for the near future, I do believe he can help out. For this past season for the New York Knicks, he played very solid. And honestly, right when the Knicks traded for him, I felt like he just kind of took over and just turned their whole season around. I mean, Rose was playing amazing in the playoffs. He was playing a lot of minutes as well. I'm really happy to see that he's just succeeding in the NBA again and playing a very solid role and staying healthy. But no matter what, for next season, he will be 32 years old. For his past contract with the Knicks and the Pistons, he made about $7 million per season. I do expect him to make a lot more in this upcoming offseason, but I wouldn't say anywhere near $20 million per season. So he's definitely going to be in the price range. Say the Bulls do miss out on some bigger name point guards. But nonetheless, I feel like most of us Bulls fans already know Derrick Rose's game. But for this past season for the Knicks, I feel like Derrick Rose was honestly the X factor for that team and to make that playoff push and just to win a lot of games. And for this past season, he played very solid for the Knicks if that was starting or coming off the bench. In 50 games last season, he put up 15 points, about 3 total rebounds, and 4 assists a game. He also shot 47% from the field and about 39% from 3. He also shot about 87% from the free throw line. But like I said, I don't believe Derrick Rose is the Chicago Bulls plan A in this upcoming offseason. I could see him being a plan B or plan C. I wouldn't be mad if the Bulls brought Derrick Rose back. I mean, I feel like almost every Bulls fan does want Derrick Rose to come back to the Bulls at some time. He's still a very solid veteran. And let's just talk about it. I don't believe he can be starting for the Bulls just because if he is, he's going to have to sit out like a few games or they're going to have to manage his minutes. I believe he started a few games for the Knicks, but I just don't believe he is a starting point guard in this league anymore. I think he's a great veteran off the Bulls bench. He could be instant offense off the Bulls bench, running the offense. And I truly do believe he could help Coby White out a lot. Definitely leave some comments and questions below today's video if you think Derrick Rose could be a starting point guard. I mean, I definitely think he can get the job done, especially if we do sign him to like maybe a 1 or 2 year deal. But I'm just saying, after that, the Bulls are still going to need to find a point guard of the future. That's why I really hope we can find a way to sign and trade for Lonzo Ball. I wouldn't be mad if the Bulls did sign Derrick Rose. He'd definitely be a solid point guard option. I do believe he could start on some nights. Just I don't think he could start every game and put up, I'd say, great numbers. But nonetheless, on the podcast, he was talking about Lonzo Ball, Derrick Rose, and he was talking about this past trade deadline for the Chicago Bulls. You know, the Bulls are very active. And after the Vucevic trade, more rumors came out about how the Bulls were still trying to trade for Lonzo Ball. And Woj was talking about that on the podcast, and he said the trade deadline deal was a Lauri Markkanen for Lonzo Ball swap, but the Pelicans wouldn't just do that. The Pelicans wanted a future draft pick involved. But of course, the Chicago Bulls didn't want to add more draft picks, you know, after we just traded 1 or 2 for Vooch. So it made sense. Woj also said the Bulls have a lot of pressure on them to make the playoffs in this next season. I couldn't agree more with that statement. The Bulls need to make the playoffs to keep Zach happy. And he also said Sato has a lot of trade value to playoff teams. You know, say the Bulls do want to trade him, save some money, or create some cap space for Lonzo Ball. I could see the Bulls either cutting or trading him in a few days. And Woj was talking about how the Bulls were relying too much on the veterans last season. You know, I agree with that statement so much. I felt like the Bulls played their veterans way too much. Thaddeus Young was playing like 30 minutes a night some games. You know, same with Garrett Temple. I really hope Coby White, Patrick Williams, and any of the other guys can really take a big step forward for next season. You know, especially Marko. I do believe he could be a solid depth signing or bench player for the Bulls. And Woj also said the final topic he was talking about how Otto Porter Jr. failed to be like a core player for the Chicago Bulls. You know, looking back at that trade, I still think it was a terrible trade. You know, we traded Bobby Portis for Otto Porter Jr. I miss Bobby. You know, I'm happy he won a championship for the Bucks. But no matter what, I just want to give a huge shout out to Daniel Greenberg and Woj for putting out all these news and rumors, talking about the trade deadline, Lonzo Ball, Derrick Rose, you know, just all these news and rumors. Definitely leave some comments and questions below today's video talking about any of the news or rumors that recently came out, who you guys want the Chicago Bulls to sign in free agency. You know, my plan A is still Lonzo Ball. I would not be mad if we did fall back on Derrick Rose. You know, everyone wants him to come back to Chicago. I still truly do hope and believe he deserves to get his jersey retired by the Bulls when he does retire from the NBA. But no matter what, thank you guys for watching today's quick little news update, whatever video you want to call it. Definitely leave some comments and questions below today's video, and click the first link below today's video and join my Discord. We're always talking about any Bulls news and rumors over there as well. Thank you guys for watching today's video. Have a good one.